The A-10 Thunderbolt II, better known as the Warthog, exists for one uncompromising reason: to keep people on the ground alive. It flies low, stays long, and hits hard, earning a reputation for showing up when the radio crackled, troops in contact. In this episode, we strip out nostalgia and ask a simple question with real stakes. Where does the A-10 still shine? Where does it struggle, and what should replace it when the air grows dangerous? If you want clear, unromantic answers backed by design logic and battlefield practice, you're in the right place. The point is simple. Confidence on the ground comes from aircraft that see well, talk clearly, hit cleanly, and keep working after the unexpected. In the 1970s, the Air Force demanded a jet that could stop armour and protect friendly troops from forward locations at short notice. Everything on the A-10 flows from that brief. Straight, generous wings keep lift at slow speed so crews can see and think. A wide stance, big flaps, and sturdy gear make short, rough strips usable near the fight. Systems are simple, access panels are friendly, and turn times are quick. Fuel, armour, and structure are arranged to tolerate punishment. The posture, wide gear, tall tail, high engines, wasn't styling. It declared that this airplane lives near the front and launches when the call comes, not when conditions are perfect. The underlying philosophy was practical. Treat time on target and calm radio work as core requirements, not afterthoughts. The point is simple. Confidence on the ground comes from aircraft that see well, talk clearly, hit cleanly, and keep working after the unexpected. At the center line sits the GAU-8 Avenger, a 7-barrel 30mm cannon the jet was literally designed around. Mounting the gun on the center axis drives recoil straight back so the nose stays where the sight says it should. Crews don't spray. They fire short, disciplined pulses, watch impacts through the pod or windscreen, correct a degree or two, and fire again. Armor-piercing rounds bite into vehicles and harden targets. High-explosive incendiary rounds tear up light cover and structures. The famous brrr-t is not theatre for people under fire. It's an audible promise that rounds are going where the radio and laser pointed, inside a plan coordinated with a JTAC and the ground commander. The point is simple. Confidence on the ground comes from aircraft that see well, talk clearly, hit cleanly, and keep working after the unexpected. Survivability is a system, not just armour. The pilot sits in a titanium bathtub that defeats fragments. Critical lines are separated or duplicated, and the engines ride high and apart to reduce debris ingestion, and the chance one hit kills both. If hydraulics are lost, manual reversion can still bring a damaged jet home. On the ground, quick swap components and forgiving structure cut turnaround times. That combination, damage tolerance in the air and maintainability on the ramp, keeps the same airframe available for the next call instead of stuck in a hangar. Every minute saved at the revetment is a minute sooner the aircraft is back overhead for someone else who needs it. The point is simple. Confidence on the ground comes from aircraft that see well, talk clearly, hit cleanly, and keep working after the unexpected. Today's A-10C is a precision truck. Targeting pods and digital moving maps help crews find, identify, and track. Data links and radios keep the airplane in the same conversation as the people on the ground. The weapons menu extends well beyond the gun. Laser-guided and GPS-guided bombs, rockets tailored for close work, AGM-65 Mavericks for armor, and short-range missiles for self-defense. The jet's deliberate pace lets the crew confirm friendlies, civilians, and geometry before they commit, often the difference between a good strike and a bad headline. Slow here doesn't mean indecisive. It means holding the picture steady long enough to choose the option that solves the problem you actually have. The point is simple. Confidence on the ground comes from aircraft that see well, talk clearly, hit cleanly, and keep working after the unexpected. The Warthog's reputation was built in messy places: the Gulf War, the Balkans, Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria. Crews became known for calm radios, patient orbits, and precise effects at danger-close distances. Presence mattered as much as weapons, being overhead before the call and still there after the first pass. Reliability like that built loyalty you can hear in after-action interviews. When a unit asked for help, the Hog made problems smaller without creating new ones nearby, and it did so with judgment as well as firepower. The point is simple. Confidence on the ground comes from aircraft that see well, talk clearly, hit cleanly, and keep working after the unexpected. The case to divest is not emotional. Modern integrated air defenses punish slow and low. Pilots, maintainers, and budgets are finite. Multi-role jets and drones cover more mission types across more environments, and aging airframes add cost and risk. None of that says the A-10 failed. It says the environment changed, and leadership wants tools that survive deeper in contested airspace while still delivering precise effects when called. Reasonable people can disagree about pace and mix, but the math, threat rings, sortie generation, and survivability curves pushes the force toward different balances of platforms. The point is simple. Confidence on the ground comes from aircraft that see well, talk clearly, hit cleanly, and keep working after the unexpected. Context decides usefulness. After enemy air defenses are degraded or in low to medium threat fights, the A-10's blend of precision, presence, and human-in-the-loop judgment is hard to replace. It can accept a 9-line orbit until the picture clears, coordinate with a JTAC, and place effects within meters of friendlies. When civilians are close, terrain is cluttered, and the ground scheme of maneuver is fluid. Seeing clearly and moving deliberately are features, not bugs. In those windows, the airplane's steadiness is its edge. It trades top speed for time to think, and that trade often saves lives. The point is simple. Confidence on the ground comes from aircraft that see well, talk clearly, hit cleanly, and keep working after the unexpected. There is no single air. F-35s bring stealth, sensors, and cross-cueing. They can find and sort targets even when they shouldn't linger low. Armed drones add long persistence and reduce pilot risk, especially for surveillance or strikes against lightly defended targets. Helicopters and artillery remain vital when weather or terrain block aircraft, or when the fight requires mass close to the ground. Link these pieces through better communications and targeting data, and you get a mosaic that covers more conditions than any single platform. Some argue for a cheap, rugged successor, a simple turbofan truck that accepts risk, flies from dirt, and stays economical to operate. Whether that is wise depends on the fights you expect and how much you value persistence over penetration. If budgets allow a mix, commanders can match tools to terrain instead of forcing one platform onto every problem. The point is simple. Confidence on the ground comes from aircraft that see well, talk clearly, hit cleanly, and keep working after the unexpected. First, protect the people on the ground. That is the mission test that matters. Second, see clearly. Good sensors plus the ability to look with your own eyes convert uncertainty into action. Third, hit precisely. The right weapon, at the right angle, at the right moment, solves problems without creating new ones. Fourth, keep flying when things go wrong. Redundancy, damage tolerance, maintainability, and forward basing by commanders options. Any replacement, stealth jet, drone, or a new simple CAS airframe should be judged by those 4 traits before paint schemes or brochure numbers. Hold designs to that standard, and debates get simpler. Fund what proves it protects friendlies while minimizing collateral effects. The point is simple. Confidence on the ground comes from aircraft that see well, talk clearly, hit cleanly, and keep working after the unexpected. The Warthog will not fly forever. Airframes age, threats evolve, and budgets move, but the standard it's set endures. Show up, see clearly, act precisely, and keep flying. If you value clear, no-nonsense coverage of the machines that shape modern war, tap subscribe and share this with someone who thinks the brute is just a meme. Tell me below, should the next CES workhorse be stealth plus smart weapons, a swarm of drones, or a tough, low-cost successor built to take a punch. And if you've served with the hog, pilot, maintainer, or the person on the radio, drop your lessons learned. They sharpen this conversation for everyone. The point is simple. Confidence on the ground comes from aircraft that see well, talk clearly, hit cleanly, and keep working after the unexpected.